Well, Stevie Niccol's a happy man because Liverpool did their job yesterday in style against Crystal Palace, and today it was over to their closest rivals in the table, Spurs up against Leicester City, Stevie. But it was Leicester City that actually got the job done, their first win away at Spurs since the season in which they won the title. So, Stevie, I mean, looking at the win now for Leicester, the goals coming from an own goal and, of course, a penalty, knowing how much Jose Mourinho prizes defending as well, do you give all the props to Leicester for a job well done, or will Jose have a couple of bones to pick with his players?
I think you've got to say both. You have to give props to Leicester. They started the game better. They were the team that looked like they wanted to win it. It took Spurs probably, half an hour to wake up, shall we say. And then the game sort of opened for the last 10, 15 minutes of the first half. And of course, the crucial thing in the first half being the penalty. An absolutely moronic challenge from Aurier. I mean, you talk about a lack of composure from a defender. Just barges into the back. I think it was Tielemans. And it's a penalty kick all day long. It's not even a tough decision. But of course, that changes things because then Tottenham have to come out and try and win the game. And quite frankly, they looked as though they'd forgotten how to do that. You know, we've been talking about them, how great they've been defensively and getting men behind the ball. But when it came to attacking, even with Gareth Bale on at half time for the second half, they looked clueless and they got what they deserved in the end, which was absolutely nothing.
An interesting point on that, because just call it 3-4 games ago, we were just talking about how Jose Mourinho has completely transformed this Spurs squad. But now we see they drop points at Crystal Palace, lose, of course, to Liverpool comprehensively, now losing to Leicester City, 6 points behind Liverpool now in the table. And it's are you feeling that Jose should start to panic a little here, considering they were so close or starting to believe that they could actually win the title this season?
Well, I don't think he should panic, and he himself has said, and I don't think it was the typical Mourinho deflecto, that he didn't think they were ready to win the Premier League title, and I absolutely agree with him. Listen, right now, I think what we saw today is a team that are stuck between all-out defence and all-out attack. They're stuck in the middle. You know, they're not quite sure if they should be sitting in a position or whether they should be able to just be free and open up and play. That's what it looks like to me. They looked as though they had kind of forgotten how to go forward in a normal fashion, not just breaking at 100 miles an hour, actually playing football, passing the ball from back to front, through the middle, and creating chances. That just wasn't Spurs today at all. And as I said, they didn't look as though they knew how to do it. And certainly, they look as though they've forgotten how to do it.
How do they remedy that then? Because we do know the style that Jose likes and has worked for him in the past at other clubs, but we also did question if it would fit long-term at Spurs, given the kind of system Mauricio Pochettino put in. So now that we're seeing that tug of war, how do you remedy it?
Well, you have to find a balance. You know, clearly what we saw, particularly against Liverpool and against Chelsea, for Spurs was a team that had been well drilled in where to be when they didn't have the ball, you know, what to do when they got it. And so when you do that, you have to be careful as a coach that you don't end up stifling everybody. And then the only thing they're thinking about is where should it be? A free player is usually a better player, in my opinion. And he needs to try and blow the cobwebs away once they actually get the ball back from defending, so that everybody can then open up and have some. They got loads of flair, but we're not seeing that because they look as though they're stifled. So they have to get a happy medium between the two.
And finally, we do have to talk about the winners. Just thoughts on Leicester, and probably the only concern being that we did see Jamie Vardy substituted later on in the game, clutching what looked like his groin. How much do they need their man back?
Oh, yeah, they can't do without him. I mean, he is fantastic. I mean, he really is the talisman. Saying that, they've got some exciting players. They've got legs. They've got youth. They've got a bit of experience at the back. So this is a good side, and they kind of did to Tottenham what Tottenham's been trying to do to other people, particularly in the second half. Going in at half time, 1-up meant that they could really use the speed of Vardy And of course, the legs of Barnes and Maddison and Tielemans to get up and join in once they won the ball back. So, I mean, this was a good performance. It was two. It could have been more. Maddison had the usual toenail offside. Otherwise, it would have been 3. He scored a great goal, but disallowed. So this was a great performance from Leicester.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.